This is a true story. It begins with boredom, but ends in betrayal, blackmail, and brokenness. A painful reminder that Shaitan works step by step. The bored wife. Amelia was happily married to Sammy. Sammy was a hard-working man, always busy with his job. He'd come home exhausted, spend a few hours with his wife, then head out again in the evenings to manage his private business. But even with his tight schedule, Sammy loved Amelia deeply. He always made an effort to keep her happy. On weekends or during any free moment, he'd take her out, making sure they had a good time together, even if his energy was running low. Amelia, on the other hand, had plenty of free time. She was a happy housewife with no major responsibilities. Her only job was to enjoy life. But sometimes, too much free time can become a trap. It starts quietly, a whisper of boredom, a flicker of restlessness. In the silence, one afternoon, Amelia was sitting alone, drinking her coffee. She said to herself, "This life is just too boring." Suddenly, a name came to her mind, her old friend from high school, Faith. Without thinking too much, she picked up her phone. They hadn't talked in years. But sometimes, old memories bring people back together. She said, "Let's meet up for coffee." Faith said yes. And just like that, Amelia's boredom was about to change. They met at a cozy cafe, warm cups of coffee in hand, and years of stories to catch up on. Faith leaned in with a smile and asked, "So how's married life treating you?" Amelia sighed. "Honestly, I love my husband, and we have everything. He's kind, responsible, and provides so well. But," she stirred her coffee slowly, "I'm just so bored. When he's away, I have too much time on my hands. It gets lonely." Faith nodded knowingly, almost as if she'd been expecting that answer. "You're not alone, trust me. So many women go through this, especially when their husbands are busy all the time. You just need something or someone to keep you busy." Amelia looked puzzled. "But where would I even find someone who's just available like that?" Faith gave a sly smile. "Come on, girl. We're lucky to live in the internet age. You got Snapchat, Instagram, all kind of apps where you can talk to good people just for company." Amelia raised an eyebrow. "But how can I just talk to strangers like that? What if they're not good people?" Faith leaned closer and whispered, "Well, if you like, I could introduce you to someone. His name is Salim. He's a good guy, very respectful. Just conversations, nothing more." Amelia hesitated. "But I don't want to cheat on my husband." Faith laughed gently, brushing it off. "You're not cheating. It's just simple chatting, like you'd talk to a cousin or brother. Nothing emotional or inappropriate. It's just a pastime." That night, Faith connected her with Salim. Amelia felt a strange excitement. Salim seemed polite, warm, and always available for a chat. She told herself it was innocent, just a way to fill the empty hours. But as the days passed, the chats grew longer, warmer, and before she knew it, Salim was the first person she'd think about whenever her husband left the house. She found herself smiling at her phone, laughing at his jokes, waiting for his messages. What started as a simple distraction was slowly turning into something else. One evening, Amelia finally opened up to Salim. "I feel so happy when we talk, and the more we chat, the more I'm getting attached to you. I think about you all the time." Salim saw it. The door had opened. This is what he was waiting for, getting a green light to go into her heart. He took the chance, slowly turning on the charm. Romantic words, gentle lies, sweet promises. Then one day he asked, "Can you send me a picture of yourself? Just one. I'd love to see the face I'm always dreaming of." Amelia hesitated. "No," but he didn't push. "It's okay," he replied. "I understand." A few days passed. Salim turned up the sweetness. He said all the right things, made her feel special, desired, loved. And again, "Sweetheart, I swear to God, I just want to see your beauty. Nothing more. I won't ask again." Eventually, Amelia gave in. She sent him a picture. "Just look at it, then delete it," she told him. He agreed. Days turned into weeks. Trust grew. So did the attachment. Then came the next request. Just one without the hijab, maybe a little glimpse of your beauty. I love you and I respect you so much. At first, Amelia resisted, but Salim knew how to play the game. Soft words, patient please, false reassurance. She gave in. One photo, then two, then more. It became normal, as if they were husband and wife. A year passed. Amelia's heart was no longer with her husband. She didn't care when he came home or left. She found ways to sneak in conversations with Salim even while her husband was nearby. And that's how the devil works, slowly, step by step, until sin feels normal, even sweet. Then one day, Salim asked to meet. Just in public, no harm. Amelia refused. I'm not ready. I respect my husband. Salim expected that, so he kept pushing, every day, gently, persistently. But Amelia kept saying no. She feared someone might see them, until one morning, Salim sent her a message. It was all her pictures, even the ones without a job. She gasped. You promise you delete them, she replied, panic in her chest. I didn't screenshot them, he said, but I saved them. Then came the threat. If you don't agree to meet me, I'll send these to your husband. Or maybe post them online. Amelia went silent. Her heart dropped. Tears spilled down her face. She hadn't seen this coming. She was trapped. Terrified, she gave in. Fine, I'll meet you, but please delete everything after that. Salim agreed. Meet me, and I'll delete it all in front of you. She drove to a remote parking lot, parked her car, and got into his. They drove to a quiet coffee shop. Over bitter coffee and fake smiles, Salim took out his phone and deleted every image, right in front of her. Amelia exhaled deeply, relief flooding her, but a storm was just beginning inside. They drove back to Amelia's car. As soon as she got inside and positioned herself, someone suddenly opened her door. She screamed in fear. A strange man stood outside. Are you Amelia? He asked. She nodded, trembling. I know everything about you, he continued coldly. I just recorded you and the man you were with. He showed her the pictures and said, I also have a video of both of you. I know where your husband works. I hacked your phone. I've listened to all your chats with him. Amelia was shaking. Tears streamed down her face. She begged him, pleaded with him not to do anything. But the man remained firm. I can delete everything, he said, but you must come to my car so we can discuss this. She cried harder, begging him not to force her, but he refused to let her go. With no choice, Amelia agreed. She got into his car. He drove to his house. On the way, she continued to plead with him not to go inside, hoping he would have some mercy. But once they reached his home, his face changed. He became aggressive. If you don't come in, he growled, I'll send everything to your husband, your family, everyone. Amelia's heart sank. In utter fear, she followed him inside. He locked the door behind her. Then he hit her until she passed out, and he raped her. Her dignity was destroyed. When she woke up, she realized what had happened. She cried endlessly. The man looked at her with no remorse. From now on, he said, you must answer my calls. Whenever I tell you to come, you will come, or I'll ruin your life. Broken and devastated, Amelia went home, weak, sick, and full of shame. She wished she could die. She went to her parents and told them everything. Her elderly parents were heartbroken. They didn't know what to do. In the end, they made a painful decision to call her husband and tell him everything. It would be up to him to choose, forgive her or divorce her. Sammy, her husband, came straight from work to his in-laws' home. He had no idea what was going on. Her parents, crying, told him everything. We know our daughter has done a grave mistake. Her father said, voice shaking, but we ask you, for the sake of Allah, for the sake of our old age, please protect her dignity. If you want to divorce her, it is your right, but don't expose her. Sammy exploded in anger. This is my right, he shouted. I'm reporting her to the police. The investigation began. It was discovered that Salim and the man who assaulted Amelia were partners in crime. They had done this to several women before. Salim was sentenced to 8 years in prison. The rapist, 15 years. Faith, the so-called friend who introduced Amelia to Salim, was jailed for 2 years. Final words. It always starts small, a harmless chat, a moment of boredom, a whisper that says, "It's just for fun." But that's how Shane works. He doesn't drag you into darkness. He walks you there, step by step, until the line between right and wrong fades and regret comes too late. Amelia was a happy wife who had everything from her husband. The husband was a good person, very rich, and gave Amelia everything she wanted. She lived like a queen, but Satan lead her far from the beautiful life she lived. Allah warns us clearly in the Quran, "O you who believe, do not follow the footsteps of Satan. And whoever follows the footsteps of Satan, then indeed he commands immorality and wrongdoing." Chapter 24, verse 21. So protect your heart, guard your intentions, and when temptation whispers, remember where that path leads. Stay strong, stay guided. True stories like this aren't just stories, but a warning. Share it before someone else falls into the same trap.